Hello and welcome to V8 Online's live and exclusive coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by our good friends at V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and of course our very own V8's Online Superstore, which is coming soon. I'm your host, Stephen Sandman Clark, filling in for Jay Kennedy. Apparently his computer's gone into cardiac arrest, so he won't be joining us tonight. So joining me in the commentary box, and fast becoming somewhat of a regular, my co-driver for this evening, Leo Gray. Leo, how are you, mate?
Very well, Steve, and yourself?
Good, mate. We're in for a ripper race, round 10 at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, most definitely. Another classic American circuit.
And of course, we're not going to go it alone. It's us two, and we've dragged somewhat of a dinosaur from our V8's online broadcast. It's Corey Slade. Corey, how you going, mate? Long time no speak.
Yeah, mate, I'm going good. It's it's been quite a while. Like, it's 126 days me and Seb worked out since I've actually last been in the commentary box. So should be interesting. Looking forward to actually watching some racing again, though.
It's been a while since you've been part of the old iRacing thing. Real life's getting in the way of racing, is that right?
Yeah, I finally went and got a job, and I just happened to be working nights, so I can't race, can't commentate, can't really do anything. So, but no, it's good to be back, and hopefully I'll have some more regular days, so I'll be able to actually jump on more often soon.
Well, it's good to have you back, mate. Expert comments along the way, guys, so we're really looking forward to that. And boys, 28 laps around Watkins Glen. It's a ripper of a racetrack, and the times in qualifying are extremely close.
Going to be pretty intense, isn't it? Bit of a change from Road Atlanta last week. This track is all speed, very fast, and it's going to produce some excellent racing, of course.
And of course, someone who's going to show us exactly how it's done for a lap around Watkins Glen is Scott Uren. Scott, you there, mate?
Yeah, thanks, guys. How you doing?
Good, mate. How's your preparation been this week? Let's have a look at qualified roughly. What are you, 13th at the moment so far, coming into final qualifying? How's your preparation been?
Yeah, not too bad. Although, yeah, they like getting in the way every now and then, so not as much time through the week as I'd hoped. But yeah, not too bad. Everything's dead tight around this track, with it being a relatively simple layout and lots of high speed. So not much difference with the times. I'm happy to be about half a second off at the moment, but obviously we'd like to be closer.
That's one of the unique things about Watkins Glen. I mean, there's so many people that are covered by a couple of thousandths of a second. I mean, I think at last look, I think it was around 37 drivers are covered by less than a second. So incredibly close times, and it's going to produce great racing.
Yeah, and all the straights as well. It's going to keep everyone close with the slipstream, so it's going to be dead tight all the way through, with people trying to save fuel as well. So it'll be a bit of chess, but always someone in your mirror, someone right ahead of you, so you've got to keep your wits about you.
And of course, leading up to this week, a lot of people probably found the S's one of the trickiest things, because you're almost pretty much flat out all the way through the S's in that part of the track.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you've got to keep a lot of speed through the lap, and if you want me to kick it off right now, we'll head down to turn 1, and yeah, it's interesting. Although it's got a lot of runoff, if you go too wide, it will cost you a lot of time. So you got to try and keep it neat and tidy, not go too wide. Try not to go too far over that curb on the exit, and then go through here. Try and modulate the throttle a bit, because although it used to be flat out in the old tyre model, it's not so much here. So you get really close to that wall, and then it's just waiting for the next corner to come along here. Have a sip of your coffee or something, and try and pick your marker heading into this top corner, and try not to get too wide. A lot of guys try and pass the car in front of them there, but they always run wide. I did in the previous race, so yeah, just got to pick your braking marker as well as you can through there. This corner's a good corner to save your fuel, because a lot of guys, it's relatively quick, fourth gear through here, so there's not much braking zone, and then through here you keep forced to try and save a bit of fuel, keep your revs relatively low, and try and limit the wheel spin as well. So although that wasn't the fastest lap, hopefully it gives you an insight of what you got to do around this track to manage your race.
Very good, mate. I tell you what, extra coat of paint on that Falcon, and you might have been in trouble up through the S's.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of guys run wide there if they're not concentrating. So yeah, it gives everyone a chance to take advantage.
Now, of course, this round is a little bit unique. We've almost eliminated fuel-saving races in the championship, but I believe there's just a couple of litres you just got to put in your back pocket to make the distance tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, there is. It's hard to judge, obviously, because you think you've got the laps right. You sync up with the remaining laps and what's left in your fuel tank, but then when you try and push, you still got to have that little bit left to make sure you can still last. So that's the juggling match.
Now, you had an
I
exciting
think the one
race
good thing
last
is,
week, Scotty. What do you got in store for us this week?
Me myself, I don't know. Even amongst the pack, unfortunately. So maybe some close racing. Go for a few passes as I usually do. I'm usually in the pack somewhere, so I'll see what I can put on for you.
It was exciting last time out, mate. Best of luck for it.
Cheers, guys. Have fun.
All the best, Scotty. We'll let you get back to your car, and hopefully you can put something else together and maybe move up a couple of spots in final qualifying. We appreciate you stopping by, mate. All the best.
Cheers, guys. Have a good call.
Thanks, mate. Leo Gray had a decent run in the earlier race and no doubt looking to back that up. So it's been a little while, especially for you, Corey, to do laps around here, Watkins Glen. How did you think of it when you were racing here back in the day?
It was great. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the boot circuit or the bus stop, but this classic circuit is definitely it's lots of fun when you flat out up the hill through the S's and then in the draft of the carousel. It's kind of makes you miss it a little bit, to be honest.
What about you, Leo? Have you had the chance to turn any laps this week?
No, not so far this week, unfortunately. But I sort of fall into the group that it's a tough little circuit, despite it being sort of simple on paper. Always had a bit of fun with turn one, but it's got a great flow the whole way through. So it is an awesome track. Wish I could be out there, but we'll just sit back for tonight, I reckon.
Of course, the one interesting thing about this layout is, of course, the draft it does play a huge part coming down that long straightaway. Like you said, Corey, now they've taken out the bus stop chicane, it really is crucial for this racing now.
Yeah, the hardest, or rather, the better things about being a fuel saver at Watkins Glen is you can sort of afford to roll out of the throttle a little bit down into the carousel because of the draft. But that said, you bang on that limiter a little bit earlier too, so it's sort of evens itself out, I think.
You're finding a balance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And of course, like you said, rolling out of the throttle for that fuel saving thing, myself this week, that's probably the easiest part of the racetrack I found to save fuel. It's just rolling out. And if you get to draft someone for quite a few laps around here, that's real keen and that's really makes it a lot easier to save fuel in the long run. So, and the best bit is there's not a lot to save. I think it's only in the area of about 3.5 litres or something, which isn't all that bad over 28 laps. So we're not far from qualifying, like I said. We'll have a quick look at the championship standings, and it's Josh Muggleton, who's, I tell you, it's not doing too bad at the moment. He's on 2,063 points over teammate Madison Down. He's got a 72-point lead over him. Lee Day in third, Sean Kelly fourth, Lee Ellis in fifth, Michael Fabian in sixth, Justin Ruggier, who's unfortunately out for the rest of the season due to his injuries, in seventh, Wayne Burke in eighth, Dean O'Brien ninth. It looks like Marlon McMullen and Tony Ortridge are tied on 10th place. So there's not a lot in it, but we're fast running out of championship rounds. And a reminder on that too that we won't be broadcasting next week, unfortunately, because, well, I say unfortunately for everyone who's tuning in, but I know we're awfully excited about it. The entire V8's online team are heading to Bathurst for the 1,000. Should be pretty exciting, boys.
Yeah, no, that'll be a lot of fun. I think it's the first time we'll have every single one of us all in the one place, actually in person. So it could be interesting.
I'll be on the couch myself, but definitely looking forward to it. Wishing you all the best, guys.
Should be a lot of fun. Obviously, it's going to be a great weekend's racing, and I think we're going to have a bit of a stall and a simulator outside Dan Murphy's inside. I guess it's in town of Bathurst. Not quite sure exactly how far it is away from the racetrack, but so if you know where Dan Murphy's is, or even have a look for it and come down and have a crack at one of the simulators there, we're going to have a bit of a go there and maybe put up some prizes or somewhat there. So it's going to be really good to have a crack and meet a lot of people who are big iRacing fans, and of course people who take the time to tune into our broadcasts each and every week. So it's round 10 of the championship here at Watkins Glen. So, of course, we miss next week, which is unfortunate because that race was going to be a cracker. Oran Park, 55 laps for round 11. And then we'll be back, of course, for the final round of the championship at Alton Park, which is always a bit of a tester for the guys for the final round of the championship.
Tough little circuit, isn't it? And what a way to finish it'll be. Definitely have something to look forward to when we come back to broadcasting.
And the championship is very interesting. Of course, like we said, Josh Muggleton, who's on the verge of maybe claiming his first championship. He's had a tremendous season. When you look at his seasons gone by, I guess it's gone role reversal, which is exactly what he needed to do. Sometimes, most of the seasons, he hasn't had the best of starts, and he's always come on strong at the end of the season. But this time round, he's actually gone really strong at the start of the season. He's continued that success with his teammate Madison Down.
Yeah, he probably got a bit sick of coming third. I think he come third in the last 4 straight championships, so it's about time he takes one up. And I guess if you're going to move up the order, may as well go to P1.
That's exactly right. Doing everything right, that's the main thing. So, and I think he's sitting on top of the timesheets for the moment too, which is good. We'll just have a look at some of the qualifying times. Josh Muggleton, fastest so far as we head into final qualifying, which is only a couple of minutes away. He's punched out a 107.905 over teammate Madison Down 107.926. And Matty Hill, the only guy, the only top 3 that are in the 7s, 7.962. So incredibly close, but nothing in it for final qualifying, which is good.
Yeah, and it's always hard. Back when I used to commentate, we always used to say how hard it was for the guys to go out there and beat their qualifying times in that last session. But I think around here, I mean, if you get that right amount of draft, it's definitely one of the more interesting final qualifying sessions that I used to love watching anyway.
Well, that's it. Traffic's going to play a big role here tonight, I think, for the qualifying. Not just for impeding your times, but also you're going to want cars in front of you to make a bit of progress, I think.
Remember in seasons gone by, we always used to see a bit of a draft train form where the guys, especially teammates, would get together and try and slingshot each other down the long straightaways. And it's a huge advantage if you get it right in qualifying. You can find yourself picking up maybe 3 to 4 tenths in some racetracks.
Timing's everything, though, so I hope they get it right. Wouldn't want to see a big wreck in the last qualifying before the race.
Yeah, I think our trusty director was in our ear just telling us, reminding us that there was I believe there was an 8-car crash in final qualifying. Everyone trying the old freight train, and it didn't quite pay off. So it's not often that we see big carnage in qualifying, and that's something exactly what these guys want to stay away from.
I imagine there would have been some sheepish drivers after that one.
Certainly interesting. It definitely got us on the edge of the seat. There's no doubt about that. So we're just waiting for final qualifying to load up. It's just about to start now.
Got to try and remember how to actually join a session on iRacing.
It's been too long for you, mate. You've been out of the seat too long.
I think I've joined into one session since my last commentating event back at Virginia. So tell you what though, tonight's race ain't like that. We're in for a cracker. I still remember that one.
So we're just waiting for pictures to come through. Final qualifying here at Watkins Glen. These guys have got 20 minutes before the race. The big one, 28 laps around this circuit. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice little change that they've taken the bus stop chicane. That's probably more commonly known for the Sprint Cup series. That those guys do use that section of the racetrack. But a nice little touch. You'll see a nice little draft forming in the early laps. And of course, like we were talking about, a nice easy way for these guys to save a little bit of fuel. And it's been interesting actually to see, because a lot of people have been having different ways of approaching their fuel saving. A couple of people have decided to go hard at the start and save a lot of fuel at the end, and it's been vice versa. So it'd be interesting to see how that all plays out in the opening laps.
I'd think you'd want to have it all ready for the end there, wouldn't you, Sandman? Get it out of the way at the start and charge on home to the finish.
Yeah, I guess it all comes down to track position and where you are in the race too. If you've got some bit of clear track around you, I guess it can work in your favour. But there's other guys that if you're in a battle and you think you got their measure later on, you can probably save at the start and then have a real red hot go later. But of course, the danger there is you let them get too far away, and then it's hard to make up that ground. So we're just about there with our pictures coming through for final qualifying from Watkins Glen. Be interesting to see if anyone else can get into the sevens. Crazy time, so many people. Like I said, I think it was about 37 cars separated by 1 second, and that's insane. It just goes to show how popular this racetrack and just how close the racing is around here.
And with how short the lap is too, we're definitely going to get a lot of action in this session. There's going to be a lot happening and a lot of cars fighting for real estate too, I think.
All right, our man on screen, Josh Muggleton in Sats.com Falcon. He's our first man to get underway for tonight. Let's see if he can improve. Like I said, he's on a cracker time. Only one of 3 drivers to be in the sevens. So be interesting to see if he and the boys decide later on to try the old drafting game.
Still not a lot of breathing room over his teammate there. Not much separating them at all.
Coming through the S's, the car looks quite settled through there, which is good. Exactly what you want, because you probably look at 95, 98. Oh, he got a little bit close to the wall there. I was going to say you're almost about 95 to 98% full throttle through there, but he hasn't backed out of it. Just going to check out Matty Hill. We believe if he's made contact with the wall, that will scrub his time. So we'll go and check back a little bit further, and we see Matty Hill on screen. Oh, he's run a little bit wide there. Interesting racing line, I tell you, if that's what he's going to go on with. Looked like he was way wide, but he will carry that momentum down that straight.
Yeah, I was about to say he's going to have a lot more straight line speed there coming out of the corner. Still didn't look ideal though.
Still going on with it. His fastest time for the week, 107.962. So that's the time he needs to improve on. A little bit slow, so 10.0. So obviously that time caught him out. Just that when you run wide, it was really hard to make up that time. But he's going on with it. Maybe he's happy with qualifying, and maybe he's just trying to get him a bit of a race rhythm going. The next man on screen, V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon, Cohen May. No draft around there that he can get advantage of.
He's got Madison just up ahead, but I think he's a little bit too far up the road.
Trying to see where Cohen is on the timesheets. I don't think I have him in the top 25 at the moment, so this could be maybe his first qualifying session for the week, not quite sure.
He's in 33rd at the moment with a 1 minute 8.8.
There you go. Crosses the line. Can he beat the 8.8? Or just a smidgen faster, an 8.825.
Starting to form up a bit of a train here. 2 ANZ boys, Clayton Brooks and Lee Day. We're going to the final corner now. John Latham just behind them, and Bo Cartel back there as well. So Scott, you're into up the road. The first time we've seen the draft come into effect in this session. I'll tell you what, Lee's pretty close here to Clayton's up his surprise. He's on the talent by the time he gets up his hill.
Oh, big hit there for Lee Day. That goes to show just how easy you see the rest of the team are just going to stop and they'll reset. So it's so easy just to catch up, get caught into that fence, and it's lap over for them, but they'll reset and they'll get on with it. I touched on before, looks like Hilly may be sticking to that race run, but behind him, Madison Downs going to see what sort of draft he can get. Oh, big internet problems there. It wouldn't be Monday night without Supercars without Madison having his internet connection issues.
Probably something he enjoyed in his weekend racing at Wakefield Park, having to worry about the internet.
And congratulations to him too. He did really well. I believe he's racing the Cobra in the car club there that he races, and picked up 6 trophies along the way, and beat his personal lap time, got into the 6s. So congratulations to Madison. Nice job, mate. We're hearing too, and thanks to our director, it might have been the track record too along the way. So, big wiggle for Hilly right in front of Madison. That would have given him a bit of a heart starter there.
Looking now, the ANZ boys now starting to form up again at the second last corner. Brooksy leading Lee Day and Carl May yet again.
It's actually a great tactic to do if these guys can nut it out and work it out. Like we said, it does pick up quite a few tenths in your back pocket. So if these guys get themselves comfortable in this freight train, they'll really make up this ground down this back straightaway.
Got a bit of a bigger gap now, I think, than the last run. So the biggest thing here, though, is Clayton now has to nail a lap and make sure he doesn't make any mistakes there to hurt Lee Day. But Carl might have just dropped off a little bit.
You can definitely see Day making up ground towards the carousel there.
We've got a couple of cars up ahead. Worn out laps. Not an issue.
Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there.
We're going to try and get the draft there off the Aldish, I think it was as well. Every little bit helps.
Awfully close back there, but Brooksy's had a whoopsie.
Oh, Lee Day's gone as well.
Oh.
That lap was looking pretty crooked there for Lee Day as well with that draft.
So can Carl May maybe make something of this? Fastest time for the session, 8:24.
8:91. Just off. That's what I mean, you get that front guy that makes a mistake, because you're right behind him, you tend to follow him off. So, but they've still got half the session to go, so plenty of time.
The man on screen, Tony Ortridge in the TTR Hyper Simulator Falcon. Looks like he's on an outlap at the moment.
Dylan Sharman get the tail out there on the PTL Falcon. Probably got a little bit less grip than that McLaren that he's used to.
Yeah, very successful over in the Grand Am is Dylan Sharman. Good to see him over with us here tonight. And another example of the different lines that some of the guys are taking through that carousel. Some swinging out wide, taking it as a double apex, some staying a bit tighter the whole way through.
Billy now pulling out of the way.
Oh, has he carried too much speed? No, he's doing a good job.
I wonder if these guys will push on now, and if Sharman will give Billy the toe the next lap.
That looks like it's what they're planning to do.
8:471 for Dylan Sharman. Oh, he's had a big moment. And that'll kill any draft that Hilly was hoping to sniff through the back straight.
A lot of traffic. We've got John Latham, Scott Uran, and cars everywhere at the moment. Mullen in there too. Coming around to start a lap at the moment, I think.
I think ideally Marlon would like to be a little bit closer to this battle with John Latham and Scott Uran, but Scott has a little bit of a wiggle there on exit, and that's all right. But this could work out nicely for Latham.
I think Lee Day had a big moment on friends called it quits on that one. So
Latham pushing on though. He was sniffing a big draft off lead A there.
Yeah, it looks like a number of the V8 Supercar fan group boys are just gathering up on the back straight there, getting ready to have another attack. So Latham comes across the start-finish line. Fastest for this session is an 8.557. He goes an 8.500 flat. His best one for the week is in the 8.2s, so still a little bit more time there to find. This man on screen all by himself. You would have thought maybe he'd hook up with a couple of teammates there, but he's decided to go it alone. We're pretty happy with his time so far, I would imagine. He's only just a smidgen off pole position over his teammate Josh Muggleton, so they're both in the 7s, and there's not much time to find for Down to grab overall pole position. Looked good through the carousel. He's holding a bit of a tighter line than a couple of other drivers that we've noticed throughout the session.
got the ANZ guys up ahead, but I think they're just about to start their lap. So they're away for him.
Careful not to run too wide for these guys, because if you clip the grass, it takes away your lap time straight away. So he's a long way off the pace at the moment, only punching out an 8.5.
Once again, we see Leeds A and Clayton Brooks trying to make something happen.
Again, Leeds A.
We got commentator's curse on him tonight.
Seems that way, but that's fairly normal, isn't it?
Yeah, they tell you what, they're doing their best to wait for the Supercar fan group, like we spoke about Justin Ruggie out in the pole, but didn't quite get the S's right through there and made heavy contact with the ball.
They'll get plenty of TV time that way, though.
That's right. I don't know if everyone at the Supercar fan group want to pay for the bills, though.
Well, Marl on top of the hill, he's destroyed the power up in there.
Yeah, he was another driver just making contact with the barrier there. We'll bring up our race recall replay and show you exactly what happened. Rolling over and really doing a number on that belt.
Big hit with the outside wall. He clipped the inside of the apex, then just ricocheted it right out to the outside. It has a bit of an effect, like a funnel effect, those S's. So whilst it looks pretty gentle, it can get, if you get it wrong, it will bite you hard, won't it?
It's so tempting to go, you just want to go full throttle all the way through there, but you know you can't. And maybe in the first opening couple of laps when you've got fresh tyres, you can probably get away with it, but as this race goes on, you know that you really have to be gentle with the throttle. A good little battle on screen with Ian Ford and Wayne Burke. These guys have hooked up. Wayne's going to get a nice little toe down this back straight. He's really in the right position up through these S's.
I think he'll almost be close enough to put a pass on him in the carousel. See it now, starting to reel in the car ahead of him.
Ah, nice. Yep, Ford just moved out of the way. Had a great battle with these two guys in the earlier race. It was really good. Really great, clean racing. And of course, Wayne, you see, he's made a couple of appearances in the Sim Insurance Truck Series on a Wednesday night. So he's got the power of the old throttle pedal when it comes to all sorts of forms of racing. Fastest time for Wayne is an 8.6 for the week and goes into the 8.4. So it just goes to show you just what sort of toe that can do. A couple of tenths up his sleeve now, and that'll jump you up a nice couple of positions.
Now, someone who has been able to improve this session is Dean O'Brien. He's jumped up with a 108.3, which should put him pretty far up the pack, I think, about 8th or 9th at this stage. His previous best before the session was a 108.7, so he should be happy with those sort of gains.
Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. Yeah, you'd be definitely happy with that. And that just goes to show what we were saying about how close it is through qualifying. A lot of these guys are just separated by thousands of a second. So, you know, just a half a tenth gain sometimes will jump you up a couple of spots. So time is slowly getting away from us in this session. We're at the 17-minute mark of this 20-minute final qualifying before the race gets underway very soon. And a couple of people have made some gains, which is good. Our current pole sitter, Josh Muggleton, on screen. Getting a nice little bit of draft there from Dean O'Brien. Let's see what this can do as he crosses the start-finish line. 8.6, so not quite, but he's still on pole position, so that's the main thing.
And no one's been able to get anywhere near the current pole times. Fastest time so far is 78.2 for Madison, so.
Speaking of Madison, the man on screen at the moment. It's like who's that behind him? Dylan Sharman's just trying to get somewhat of draft if he can.
Got you, Red.
Big one. What happened there? Did he make contact with the tyres? He got off on the grass and, well, I made heavy contact with the tyre barrier and in he went.
Yeah, it looks like he dropped the left side off the track and it just launched it into those barriers. I saw a big NASCAR crash there a couple of years ago, actually.
Yeah, he only just got that left rear out in the grass there.
So in the midst of winding this session down, Wayne C. Burke on screen.
A lot of traffic up around the final two corners, and Matthew Hill having to get his way through it there was quite interesting. About 4 or 5 cars all trying to get a bit of space.
All jostling position. You've got Tony Autridge heading up a bit of a train there, followed by John Latham, Mullen and Dean O'Brien.
I think at the moment in this train, starting your last lap, I think you want to be Dean because he's got 3 cars up ahead of him, actually 4. So the draft's going to be quite massive down that back straight if you can put the lap together.
And this will be the final gate for these guys for 19 and a half minutes of this session. Oh, contact there for Autridge. They go on board with Dean O'Brien. He comes into this fast sweeping right-hander.
Well, eventually they're starting to fall off the train. Still 3 of them there. I think Dean O'Brien should go on for a good lap here.
He's already moved up this session and he couldn't have gone any deeper into the carousel if he wanted to. On the absolute
there goes
big lose in front of him.
Started with 5 cars, now he's got none in front of him. Last corner was a little bit squiggly under brakes. He comes to the start-finish line now. Looking to improve on his 8.3, it's an 8.4.
Got Josh Muggleton on screen with Scott Uren. They've had a run to the flag. Scott Uren goes an 8.252, so he beats his fastest time for the week. Dale Niche on screen. He's trying to get some sort of draft. Sanjin didn't quite do it. Bit of a V8 Supercar fan group drag race to the line now. And I think that will pretty much wrap up qualifying. we just have a quick look around the circuit to see if anyone else is on the lap. That's about it.
Well, that was an exciting session, guys. I saw a couple of guys, a couple of drivers move up on their times, so taking up the grid a little bit for the upcoming race.
So we'll check out the times for this session. Like you said, a couple of drivers did make improvements. The fastest driver in this session, Madison Down, an 8.041 over Scott Ewan, Dean O'Brien, Tony Ortridge, Wayne Burke, Dylan Sharman, John Latham, Josh Muggleton, Dale Nish and Bo Cattell running out your top 10. We've got Marlon McMullen, Sanjin Delika, in Matthew Hill, Ian Ford, Carl May, Lee Day and Clayton Brooks. And that's how it finished for qualifying. So we're not all that far from race time, mate. Boys, who have we got our money on, do you think?
With the way that Watkins Glen races, I don't think it's a simple case of just picking a winner like that, Sandman. I think that the winner's going to be the spectators, because it's going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, I think the guy that'll win the race will be the one that starts the final lap in second and is right up behind first place, because you want that draft in that last lap. Definitely don't want to be getting attacked into the carousel.
All right, so we're about 8 minutes away from the start of round 10 here at Watkins Glen. We're going to take a short commercial break. Make sure you stick around so you can catch all the action live here on V8's Online. We'll be back in just a few moments' time. Hello and welcome to V8 Online's live and exclusive coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by good friends of V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and our very own V8 Online Superstore, which is coming soon. I'm your host, Stephen Sandman Clark. My co-drivers for the season, Leo Gray and Corey Slade. How you going, boys?
Very well, Sandman. Very well. And yourself?
Good, mate. Long time no speak, Corey.
Yep, we touched on in qualifying. It's been 126 days since I last commentated, and incidentally, it's also been 126 days since I last watched the race. So, looking forward to getting back into it. It's a perfect track for it too.
Yeah, definitely in for a nice close one. It's going to be some great racing. We've already seen the qualifying times extremely close. And a man who may have a little bit of an easier night is our good friend and our very own Astro Gaming Headsets pit reporter, Reese Gardner. Reese, how you going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. It's going to be a slight fuel saver for this race, or so I'm told. And 28 laps, I believe, and we're at a layout of Watkins Glen that produced some really good racing last time we were here, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is I think these cars are suited for about, I think they've got about 26 and a half laps of fuel for a 28 lap race, so they don't have to save a heck of a lot, which is good, so it won't affect the racing too much, but it'll be interesting just to see how some of the strategies play out. Check out a race preview here at Watkins Glen. We've got 7 turns, track length is 3.89 kilometres, and really does put on a great show. These guys got 28 laps, like I said, with in regards to fuel saving. And the times are incredibly close. I think we saw 38 drivers covered by about a second, and was that 48 soft? Was that 4,800? Sorry, 4,162 is the soft for tonight. So pretty good. Really looking forward to tonight.
Now, you've spent some time behind the wheel this week, Sandman. What's the field got in store for us?
Mate, it's great racing. You'll see a couple of these guys really using the draft to effect. We touched on that a little bit in qualifying, but it's a really good way to save fuel. So these guys will think about strategy as far as whether they want to pass the guy in front or whether they want to save a bit of fuel. But it's not too bad, but I think the guys will really put on a good show. This track is famous for nice close racing. We'll quickly run through the starting order. 22 cars will see the green flag for 28 laps around Watkins Glen. Your pole sitter and current series championship leader Josh Muggleton with the 107.905. Not much behind is his teammate Madison Down and Matty Hill, the only top 3 drivers to be in the 7s. But like I said, times are incredibly close. Lee Ellis in 4th, Sean Kelly in 5th, Lee Day in 6th, Michael Fabian in 7th, Tony Autridge in 8th, Scott Uren 9th, John Latham in 10th. In 11th place, we've got Dean O'Brien, Dale Nish in 12th, Wayne Burke in 13th, James McKnight, Tobias Cerny in 15th, Alexis Aloma in 16th, Bo Cattell in 17th, Marlon McMullen back in 18th place, Sanjin Deleka in 19th, Jason Black in 20th, Richard Arwood in 21st, and Michael Schreier in 22nd.
And that 22-car field only separated by less than a second. It's incredibly tight, the times here. It's a very short lap, and it's going to be a very intense race.
Yeah, really looking forward to see how this all plays out. And of course, we saw in qualifying just how tricky is that first part of the racetrack where you go up through the S's. These guys really keen to stay on the throttle. I think you expect them to probably hold about 95% control through there, but as the laps go on, the tyres start to go away, and it'll be interesting to see who tries to go that little bit braver through the S's.
Especially in traffic too, because everything's going to bunch up there. Coming out of that difficult turn 1, you'll have guys that are trying to make overtaking moves and then running side by side into the S's. It's a pretty difficult place to be.
Seeing all this on-track action, Corey, mate, does that want to get you behind the wheel?
Yeah, I just want to got to the session, and I tell you what, it's been so long, and it kind of does. Although I'd still much rather be in the Grand Am series. I'm really missing that.
We're just waiting for drivers to grid up. Really looking forward to this. The first couple of laps will be interesting. Like I said, there'll be different drivers on different strategies as far as whether they decide to push hard at the start and fuel save later, or maybe fuel save at the start and push on later. So hopefully that doesn't choke the field up too much. But before we get underway, we've just a quick reminder too, we won't be broadcasting next week as the V8's online team head to Bathurst Mount Panorama. So we're going to have a week off, and we'll be back for the grand finale at Alton Park, which should be an absolute ripper.
Carl's now starting to grid up, just waiting for one or two more.
So it's an all tats.com 1-2 for the start of this race. They've pretty much had that their own way the last couple of weeks. Had some formation conditions there. You can see much of the same. 28 laps in front of these guys. There's a red rise. Waiting for the green light.
Oh,
He's away.
Got your end, he went then stopped then. He's actually been swamped as well.
Rev Healy's had a shocker of a start too. He was in third. It looks like he might find himself maybe back in 6th place possibly. 7th by the looks of it. So it's Josh Muggleton, Madison down, Lee Ellis, Sean Kelly, Michael Fabian, Matty Hill, Lee Day, Tony Ortridge as they all head up through the S's for the first time.
They runs cleanly through the S's. Interesting to see if Scott Uren comes in though on this first lap.
He'll be disappointed with that. It's a killer when you get that jump start. He's going to have to 2 or 3 different lanes up to pretty much his race over.
Now, whilst there's single file in the front, there's a massive pack behind. Oh, there's a
big one! And Scott Uren there puts together a bit for the carousel.
So massive carnage. We'll get a race recall replay to show you all the action. Looked like there was a couple of cars that were trying 3 wide and a little bit of contact and around 3, 4, 5, 6 cars involved there.
You see that there's Marlon Mullen and Scott Uren were, and who was the third car in there? And Alexki. They were 3 wide for pretty well the entire carousel. Nearly made it, but yeah, ends in tears for those guys.
Crazy start to the race. That's the last thing you want to do is 3 wide as we look at the battle on screen. Lee Ellis and Sean Kelly. These guys, you can see that Kelly's tucked right up behind Ellis there. As he looks up the inside, can he get the job done? Ellis will just give him the position. Oh, he's going to try the over-under, not quite. Kelly's right onto it and pulls the car down. And they're going to try and get the tow that they can get from Madison down the next car in front.
There's a textbook move by Kelly, and also worth noting we've got Josh Muggleton leading the race. He's just slightly covering on those long straights, just wanting to make sure that teammate doesn't have a look in at the carousel there.
So the end of lap 2, it's Josh Muggleton leading over his teammate Madison down. Sean Kelly looking a little bit racy back there as he made his pass on Lee Ellis in 4th. Brilliant run for these guys, and Ellis in 4th, like I said, Fabian in 5th, Hilly in 6th, Tony Ortridge 7th, Lee Dane 8th, Dean O'Brien 9th, and John Latham rounding out your 10.
And Michael Fabian's definitely a part of this first train. He's putting pressure on Lee Ellis now, going to try and sniff a draft down that back straight.
So Kelly's managed to get one spot. Oh, it looks like Madison Down's going for a lead up the inside. You're right, mate. Got the job done over his teammate Josh Muggleton. Had a nice little tow there from the draft, and yeah, off he goes. Like how these guys are racing. Obviously, Madison's pretty keen to push at the start. Didn't want Muggleton to get away, but there's a nice little freight train behind Madison Down, and of course, all these guys just have a red hot go and try to save him at the same time.
Look at how much speed those Tats cars carried through that last turn. You had Sean Kelly right up on the back of Muggleton there, and they've just opened up a nice gap heading down into turn 1.
Hilly just trying to pull himself back into this pole on the back of Michael Fabian. So Hilly finds himself in 6th after that unfortunate start. He had a brilliant qualifying time starting in 3rd, but his work cut up for him to chase up to the back there to try and get that draft. But while this happens, we'll go to our man in the pits for Astro Gaming Headsets, Reece Gardner.
Yeah, guys, I've been listening in on various teams, and I've got a little bit of team radio for Michael Fabian, currently running in 5th. Matt Burgess has recently said something along the lines of Sean Kelly might have a little bit of a penalty coming his way for some reason. I'm not too sure what the case is there. Might be a stop-go or something. I really don't know, but I'll be keeping an eye on Sean Kelly for the next couple of laps.
Oh, dramas for our race leader. Madison Down got real wide on exit. Thanks very much, Reese. We'll keep an eye on Sean Kelly. Of course, that'll be devastating if he has to tour through pit lane because he's sitting in third place right behind Josh Muggleton at the moment. Oh, looks like Down's
at the first turn.
Yeah, Down's struggling a little bit. I don't know what's going on there. I don't think he's made contact. Maybe he's just needs to get himself into a bit of a rhythm for the opening laps. And Tony Orchard's just got a little bit wide, and that'll open the door for Lee Day. He's going to snake a bit of that draft, and you go to move to the inside. We check out the action up front. It's Josh Muggleton now and his teammate. You wouldn't believe these guys are teammates. They're side by side. And this will open up the door for Kelly. Oh, not quite. Kelly's having a bit of go all over the back of Madison Down now. So the two Tats.com cars, they both want to lead this. They're both having a red hot go.
And while that's happening, Michael Fabian has gone through to 4th place. If these guys keep on fighting, he's going to be right on the back of that as well shortly.
Oh, big wiggle there. You can see Down a little bit wide there too with Muggleton, just a little bit squirrely on exit that turn. It's now Josh Muggleton leading over Madison Down, but Madison right there tucked up behind, probably thinking about another move, but it's amazing to think these guys are still having a red hot go and still saving fuel.
Sorry, Sam, Dino right up the inside of Tony Orchard's there at turn 1. His teammate, I think, was Wayne Burke. Got into Orchard connection with the corner, he's now on 5th position. That loses another one as well.
Oh, yeah, big drama.
Side by side of the S's, you don't want to do that.
Oh, they're doing a really good job to give each other plenty of racing room. Bo Cattell and Tony Orchard side by side through the S's. We'll try and get a race recall replay of the incident at turn 1 with Tony Orchard.
Like,
so much action.
Then O'Brien, the big guy up inside. Wayne just tapped him. So Orchard looked to get the over and under. Right.
It was a cheeky little tap, but it cost Tony Orchard's big time, didn't it?
So while that happened too, Lee Ellis has gone round the outside of Michael Fabian.
And
now they're going to be side by side. Fabian's now going to try and do the over and under, and he'll get the job done going into turn 1.
But Ellis is going to come back on it.
Yeah, he's run wide and Ellis will have the ideal line. We'll have to give up that racing. They don't want to go side by side through the hill. He's now having to skip. Great racing from Ellis, Fabian and Hilly. And what this has done is open up that little bit of a margin up front.
Down on Muggleton.
These guys not giving an inch. Who said there's team orders over at TTR? These Tats.com boys are racing each other as hard as they can. They're having a really great battle, nose to tail between these guys. Of course, they're battling it out for the championship as well.
And Matthew Hill has made the pass on Michael Fabian as well now. So we've got 2 3-car groups at the front here. Really hoping to see if that second group can kind of close up onto the front 3. That'd be just what we want, isn't it?
Well, if these positions keep swapping around, it won't take long for them to tack onto the back, but unbelievable. Every lap it changes. So either Josh Muggleton or Madison Down leading at the line, but this time round, it's Madison Down. Oh, Madison's run wide a little bit there on exit. That'll give Muggleton a chance to really close up through the S's.
He'll have a much better run up here if he can get on the throttle earlier. He'll have a chance at the carousel with Madison with that. See he's creeping away there at the top of the hill. Although Muggleton's now got the draft, he's wide out in the grass.
No, the guy with the run right now is actually Sean Kelly. He's definitely closed up on the back of Muggleton. But
here goes Muggleton though up the inside and backs out of it. Heard him roll out of the throttle there.
A little bit further, Fabian's trying to have a little battle between these guys. So many great battles up and down the field, I don't know where to look. So, at the end of lap 8, it's going to be Madison Down leading over teammate Josh Muggleton. In third place, Sean Kelly, Lee Ellis 4th, Michael Fabian 5th, Matty Hill in 6th, Lee Day in 7th, Wayne Burke is now in 8th place over Dean O'Brien in 9th, and John Latham rounding out top 10, but there's a heck of a freight train for these guys back here. back up front. Madison Downs just opened up just a little bit of a margin over teammate Josh Muggleton.
Yeah, he's not quite close enough this time by to have a go. He can roll out of the throttle well before he's on the brakes. Look at that though. Get him out of the throttle there.
Tony Ortridge has put it in the wall big time. Sorry to cut you off, Corey, but Ortridge out of the race.
Oh yeah, it's happened up through the S's too, unfortunately. Looks like he's just bounced off the wall. We'll check out our race recall replay. And it's a night over for Tony Ortridge. It's ended the night for the TTR Hyperstimulated Falcon.
Back up front though, Sean Kelly now getting very racy on Josh Muggleton.
Oh, while it's a little bit quiet, we'll go check out our man in the pits, Reece Gardner. Thanks to Astro Gaming Headsets.
Wide, sorry. Madison's gone very wide. He fishtails it back onto the racetrack.
Lucky to hold on to that. Sorry, Reece, go for it.
It's okay, guys. I don't know if I'll be able to get a word with this battle. This is really close, but I got a bit of news from Ryan Day from Powerbond Racing Team. Remember, guys, at Interlagos, how Overclockers AU signed an international driver? Well, Powerbond Racing Team has signed an international driver as well, and he may or may not be running in 12th, is the only hint he would give me.
So everyone's flicking through the timesheets now to see that could be Tobias Zerny in 12th place.
It would seem so.
Nice job, Reece.
Congratulations for signing Tobias, guys.
Check out this action back here, Lee Day. Thinking about a move on Burt, not quite. These guys having a great battle for 7th place. They have fallen back a little bit from the back of Matty Hill, but great battle back here for Day, Burt, O'Brien, Latham, McKnight. They're all here in a bit of a freight train. Checking this action back up front. Kelly's right there hanging in. Fingers crossed that he hasn't got some sort of penalty that Reece was touching on a little bit earlier, because that would really upset the racing up front. I know Muggleton would love to see that, just to take a bit of pressure from behind.
Really interesting to look at the way that these guys are making speed at different parts of the track. Looks like Sean Kelly definitely closes up through turn 1 and the S's, but those Tats cars are just so quick through the last 2 corners.
Oh, it's all nose to tail for the top 3. Little bit of a wiggle back there for Josh Muggleton as he gets through the right-hander.
Oh, look at Sean Kelly now. Pulled out of the draft, had a look at Josh Muggleton there in the second last corner.
Oh, he's thinking about it too. He can see how much Muggleton's moving around, and Kelly's pace of the last couple of weeks has been sensational.
So Madison is really using all the racetrack. Dropped out of the grass a couple of times down the last couple of laps.
He struggled at turn 1 too. It'll be interesting to see how he goes through here, but the last couple of laps he hasn't quite been
he's sideways again.
Yeah, a little bit tailing there, so he's not quite happy through that part of the racetrack.
He's using all of the road and plenty of the runoff too. It seems to be a regular thing for that last and first turn at the moment. But once again, Sean Kelly with a big run up through the S's. He's closer than he ever has been to Muggleton this time.
Will he think about a drive up the inside?
Oh, almost 3 wide into the carousel.
Muggleton was on it. He knew he had to use the alternate racing line because Kelly was right there, helpless dead.
You know, I think the only thing that's saving Muggleton from Kelly at the moment is having his teammate in front of him to draft off.
One man who'd love to see the front 3 start battling it out would be Lee Ellis, because before they know it, that'll really bring them back into the fold. A great little battle for Ellis, Fabian and Hill, battling for 4th, 5th and 6th, and it doesn't take much for the guys up front to start battling between each other. They don't get to use the ideal race line, and they don't hit their markers where they used to, and that's a really good way for them to gain up this pace. We'll head back to Reece Gardner in the pits, thanks to Astro Gaming Headsets.
Yeah, guys, I've actually got a bit of extra info on that battle that's happening between Ellis, Fabian, and possibly Hilly. A bit of team radio for Michael Fabian. They're suspecting that Lee Ellis might be heavily fuel saving, so we're going to keep an eye on that as Fabian closes up really big on Ellis.
And no more word on Kelly's possible penalty?
Matt Burgess from Overclockers AU confessed to me that he misheard the stream before Kelly that got a jump start, but yeah.
It's okay. That's good for the viewers because it's a heck of a battle up front between Down, Muggleton and Kelly. So it's glad that isn't going to get sport from the drive-through, Phil. We appreciate that, Reece. Thanks very much.
No problem, guys.
Great little battle here. Tobias has definitely got his hands full here. There's so much going on, and these guys are battling it out for, what is that, 9th, 10th, 11th? Oh, a little bit of I wasn't quite sure how that was going to end because looked like who's that, Dale Niche was trying to look up the inside there of McKnight through the S's.
Like the engineer had a look up the inside of Tobias into the carousel. Late break there though by Tobias, hold on to that position, or does he? Hang on. He'll get the better run out of here.
Oh.
He's got the inside line though now into the second last corner. And here comes Bo behind him.
He doesn't give up too much under brakes, no. He doesn't quite get the job done. This little battle back here for 8th, 9th and 10th. Lee Day, Dean O'Brien, and Wayne Burke in the fold this 7th, 8th and 9th. Apologies for that. Looks like Lee's got a good run here. If he can use this draft to effect, he might be able to get the move done going into the right-hander. Oh, we go to check the battle up front. Looks like Madison Down wiggling out of that turn. Muggleton's got a nice little run. Can he look up the inside to get the job done? He does. Nice braking manoeuvre up the inside. Madison Down just struggling a little bit. So another change of position and brings Kelly right back into the fold.
Oh, Madison has looked up the inside.
Oh, almost contact between teammates.
Here goes Kelly. Got a better run in that last corner out the inside of Madison Down.
Oh, he's going to get the job done too. He's alongside Madison Down as they approach the braking markers for turn 1. Oh, Madison's going to try and hold on the outside. Oh, he's going to be on the wrong part of the racetrack now because Kelly will have the inside line. You don't want to go side by side. You've got to be careful up through the S's. Nice bit of driving, great bit of give and take, but Down will hold on over Kelly. And that's opened up that margin for Muggleton.
Oh, here we go, Michael Baby Lee Ellis bump drafting down the back straight. And here comes Matthew Hill.
They're going to go 3 wide. Oh, we saw what happened last time. They were 3 wide. There was carnage earlier in the race, but these guys going to battle it out. They're going to push a little bit wide. Ellis is going to try the inside manoeuvre, and Hilly's right there to pick up the pieces. Oh, contact! Oh, Hilly's off on the grass. Nice bit of driving there from Hilly. That could have been game over.
I thought he was going to the fence for sure then.
Oh, he's still sideways, still trying to gather it up.
What's he doing?
Oh, that's the last place you want to be. We've touched about how there's been some big, massive crashes, even there in real life. And I tell you what, he did a great job of getting out of the grass and holding that up, bringing that all back together. Check out all the action on our race recall replay on board with Hilly.
Luckily enough, he had a big margin back to Dean O'Brien there, and Wayne Burke up the inside of Lee Day. And one, and actually John Latham followed through. So that was out of control there for Hilly. Out of the carousel, 3 wide.
Great racing. It's lap 17 of 28. Our race leader, Josh Muggleton, over teammate Madison Down. That's settled itself out a little bit where Muggo was able to open up that margin while Down and Kelly were battling for 2nd and 3rd. Oh, one to Fabian front wide for 4. He's lost a lot of margin. Ellis has gone right up the inside, so that'll bring Fabian right back into the clutches of Philly. We'll check out a race recall replay. He just went a little bit wide and lost a lot of margin going into that right-hand sweeper. Lucky to keep it off the tyre barrier, actually.
Sean got to halfway, relatively calm, and it's just gone off these last couple laps.
Maybe another of these drivers, they know they've got enough fuel to go the distance now, and they're really wringing its neck.
Yeah, there's also a big train back from 8th to about 14th. Plenty of guys involved in that one. You got Wayne Burke, Lee Day, John Lathan, Sanjay Malalik, Tobias Suni, Focatel, and Dal Nish as well. Those guys have been at it for a couple of laps now, and it's not going to let up anytime soon.
Oh, look up front, Kelly's having a nice little move. He got a bit of draft there on the back of Madison Down. Can't quite get the job done going into the right-hander. But really, Madison's really got his hands full with the pace that Kelly's got on board.
That's now looking, I think he's close enough to time by though. It's a nice little margin for Bubbles at the moment, but just over half a second. Oh, he's running very wide.
Geez, Madison's still struggling with the rear of his car too. That's really pulled him up. That little whoopsie from Muggleton has really got this margin that's closed up again.
He just hasn't looked as comfortable as we'd expect normally, has he?
Sorry to butt in there, mate. Speaking closed up, Michael Fabian now closed up in the back of Lee Ellis. Has a look up the inside at turn 1. The rear end there was moving around a little bit. Job done.
What Ellis needs to do is just gather his thoughts and get right tucked in for that slipstream. He can carry that draft down the back straight. He might be able to get that position back, but it's a good pace there from Michael Fabian as he exits through the S's.
Madison Down now pulling up very quickly to Josh Muggleton.
He's going to go.
The carousel.
Oh, side by side for the Tatstop boys.
Sean Kelly here.
Muggleton trying to hold the outside line, can't quite get it done. Now Kelly's going to be right there. Nose to tail.
They're bum dropping in the second last corner here. Trying to get away from Sean Kelly. Pulls out to the outside. Right for the over and under here maybe.
Fantastic,
be loving this. He was the fastest car on the track last time with those two Tats cars fighting.
Mate, that's exactly what he wants to see.
Madison's having a lot of trouble with that rear end of that car. Finding the grass more often than not. Here goes Muggleton, has a look.
Oh, time is slowly slipping away from these guys. We've got 9 laps to go in this race. And I'll tell you what, Muggleton's right there, but he's got to be careful in his rearview mirror. Kelly's been there from the drop of the green flag.
Muggleton's so close to the fence.
He's wide.
I think he knows it too. He was very wide on the exit of the hill.
Yeah, and he's lost that momentum, so he's had to hold on. Kelly's going to launch it inside. Oh, that's as close as you want to get. Kelly's going to make the move up the inside of Josh Muggleton. Couldn't quite get the job done. Unbelievable bit of driving. Looked like Kelly faked him. Muggleton was looking in his mirror and he could see Kelly was right there, but a little bit of a fake and nearly got the job done on Josh Muggleton.
Tell you what, 281 kilometres an hour. They almost touched down the back straight.
Check out the
insane.
action on the race recall replay. Sensational driving by those three.
Kelly caught the grass under brakes in the final corner. Got a little bit sideways.
Oh, we're hearing up. Patel's had a big moment back there. It looks like he's gonna. Like he may have had a little bit of contact possibly with Tobias Zerny. We'll check out all the action on our race recall replay. So many great battles up and down the field. I just can't believe it. It's like we're in the dying stages of this race and these guys aren't giving up an inch.
Yeah, I think they all should now be pretty good for fuel at the end of Muggleton. Big run into the carousel.
Wow, that was super deep under brakes there. How did he close up so much ground?
So what, he was only millimetres away from fuel on the back of his teammate there. That thing was out of control over the back of the carousel.
While this all unfolds, we'll check out the onboard camera. Sean Kelly, you can see teammates Madison Down and Josh Muggleton back. Look at him right up the back of Josh Muggleton. Muggleton a little bit sideways out of the turn. Can Kelly cover that momentum all the way down to the inside of turn 1? A little bit of contact. Side by side for these guys. Can Kelly get the job done on the brakes?
That power, he's done it.
Nice job from Kelly. Well done. So it's Madison Down leading over now. Sean Kelly and Josh Muggleton back to third place.
Sean Kelly. drawn into Madison Downs wall there.
Maybe, I think Muggo may have caught a bit of that wall too. I'm not quite sure. Muggleton's having a look around the outside.
He's outbraked him as well.
Oh, look how deep Muggleton can go. He's going to hold the outside line. These guys are going to battle side by side. They come off the turn. Oh, God! Big one! Championship leader, Josh Muggleton. Massive incident.
His engine is gone.
That is a huge one. Huge championship repercussions for our championship leader, Josh Muggleton.
Watch out, this next pack coming through. Oh, he's collected it.
Oh, huge incident. Massive rollover back there. The day gets worse for Kelly. Kelly's night is over.
Who was that collected Sean Kelly?
Unbelievable set of circumstances. These guys racing side by side, and we saw the contact. They both fired off into the wall, and unfortunately Kelly got cleaned up as well on it when he was trying to rejoin the race.
Yeah, Wayne Burke there saw his teammate go left. Wayne right, it was too late. Nowhere to go out the back of Sean Kelly. Josh Moulton's engine is blown. That'll be night done for both of them.
Check out all the action on our race recall replay. Unbelievable set of circumstances. This has handed the race to Madison Down. He's got himself a 4-second margin over Michael Fabian, I think.
Well, that changes things.
That's going to have huge repercussions in the championship. Of course, our championship leader, Josh Muggleton, it's night over for him. Tell you what, the man who loves this is Michael Fabian now sitting in second place, and Lee Ellis third, Matty Hill fourth. So, oh boys, I'm still trying to gather my breath. I can't believe what's happened.
Well, yeah, we can go over all that when the race is over. We've still got 5 laps to go at the moment, and Fabian's got a bit of breathing room to Lee Ellis behind him, but it still looks like it's going to be a big gap out to Madison in front. But wow, how many cars did that take out? About 3 cars out of the race after that one incident.
Yeah, I think Wayne Burke may have caught up in a number of cars. It's just unbelievable. It was a chain reaction when you saw that the contact that the boys made off into the tyre barrier, and unfortunately a couple of innocent bystanders got involved when Kelly was trying to rejoin the racetrack. But these things happen. We'll quickly run through the top 10 now after everything's sort of panned out now. It's Madison Down leading over Michael Fabian in second place, Lee Ellis in third, Matty Hill fourth, in fifth Dean O'Brien, Lee Day, Sanjin in seventh, Tobias in eighth, Dale Nish in ninth, and so Aleski Loma who may be in 10th place now. Well, the man up front he's got it pretty easy now. He's got no pressure from behind. He's got himself a good 3.5 second margin. So if he was having a red hot go and not worrying about fuel, now's the perfect time to make it to the end now. He won't have to worry about fuel now. Great little battle back here, and of course this is for 5th, 6th and 7th. Dean O'Brien, Lee Day and Sanjin. These all guys still having a red hot go.
Yeah, it's not over yet. These guys battling out there the top 5.
Lee Day with a big run, looking to the outside on...
Here comes Sanjin though in the middle.
Whoa, not 3 wide again.
Had to tap the brakes there.
Oh, is there going to be
saw
contact?
what happened. Last time cars went side by side, these guys need to give each other plenty of room, and that's exactly what they do.
Wow. How good was that move by Lee Day to make the position on the outside? We haven't really seen that done too many times tonight.
So Lee Day gets the job done on Dean O'Brien, and of course Engine's right there behind Dean O'Brien. So these guys are going to take it right down to the wire. It's lap 25 of 28. Great little battle between these three. Sensational.
Here comes Sanjin now into turn 1. Later on the brakes, should get the job done down here.
Oh, close as you want. He's thinking about looking the inside. No, smart moves. You don't want to go too wide through the S's. Great to see these guys sort of giving each other a little bit of give and take.
front now. Looks like Madison Down holding that margin quite easily at the moment. And the gaps between Fabian, Ellis and Hill have sort of evened out. About half second to a second each between these cars.
Yeah, Fabian and Ellis have been lapping marginally quicker, so I'd say that Madison Down's just trying to maintain the gap at the moment.
Yeah, I reckon if anything, that margin may have closed up a little bit. 3.5 seconds last time round, and it's 3.1 seconds now, so half a second. It's not too bad. Like you said, I think Madison's just controlling his race and making sure he's got enough to get home.
Yeah, got a lap to go. I don't think he's got too much to worry about now. Although, I don't think he's made contact with his own wall. That could have been awkward.
The commentator's curse straight away there, Corey.
Well, he managed to get through it, but yeah, no, I think he's just taking it easy now. He's like second, nothing to worry about. Battle for second and third also seems to be resolved at the moment. Tell you what, that would have been an awkward post-race conversation though.
It's been a brilliant race up front. Fantastic battle between Madison, Josh Muggles and Sean Kelly. Unfortunately for those two, it didn't go the way it wanted. But Madison Down stayed out of trouble, did everything right, and he'll bring it home for a fantastic victory for round 10 of the iRacing V8 Supercars. He comes off the last round. Oh, no, sorry. I got a little bit excited and one lap ahead of myself. He's still got one more lap to go.
Wanted to get it wrapped up and get the Bathurst, mate.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about. Quickly, go, and we get head to the mountain.
Come on, Madison. Lap record on the last lap here. He was about 2/10 quicker than Fabian though on that last lap. And Ellis though, he's about 3/10 quicker than Fabian. A little bit further back than he probably wants to be, but definitely closing up at the moment. I can now safely say he's made it through the race without hitting his own wall, so I wanted to wait till it was past at this time.
And the amount of battles he had up through the S's, that close racing he certainly had his chances to hit the wall, but he's had a pretty clean race.
Well, he's only got one trick left up his sleeve, and I don't want to bring it up till he's down to the last corner, but he's quite famous for a little moment around Watkins Glen on the last corner of the last lap, but I think he'll get to this one quite easily.
As he does, he comes off the last turn. I can finally say it now. The Tats.com driver of Madison Down will take the win for round 10 of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series.
Great job, Michael Fabian there in P2. Lee Ellis in P3 rounding out the podium.
Well, this battle hasn't stopped here. Lee Day, Dean O'Brien, Sanjin, they're all going to take it to the flag. This is for 6th, 7th. Great battle between those guys. 8th, Tobias Zerni will hold on. Dale Niche for 9th. Aleski Alama in 10th place, close to the end there. Check out the battle on screen.
Might be out of fuel. Black's gone around.
He's gone. Black's thrown it away. And Marlon will cough across the start-finish line. So it looks like Black probably got excited and he knew that Marlon was coughing and tried to get on the throttle as early as he could and went round, unfortunately.
Oh my
A couple
goodness,
spots
guys.
here.
I was just listening in on Powerbond Racing, and as that happened, Marlon was absolutely laughing mad.
He's lost 3 or 4 positions there, unfortunately too. So
You check out our race recall replay. You can see Jason Black just tried to get on the throttle. He knew Marlon was out of fuel, and went from possible 13th to he'll finish as the last car on the lead lap in 17th place. So bad luck there, Jason. Your heart goes out to him. Of course, our man on screen, Madison Down, our race winner for round 10 in the Tats.com Falcon, and letting his hair down a little bit with a couple of burnouts and some circle work there.
I bet he'll be relieved after that to come home with that sort of finish. It's yeah, very well done to Madison Down.
He didn't have things go his own way too. He had a great battle between him and his teammate Josh Muggleton, and the way all that unfolded between Muggleton and Kelly, it was bad luck. It was just good, hard racing between those guys. There was no intention there, and it was just an unfortunate set of racing circumstances that ended their night. We'll quickly run through the race results. Our winner, like we said, Madison Down over Michael Fabian. Great result for him. Lee Ellis in 3rd, Matthew Hill in 4th, Lee Day in 5th. Dean O'Brien in 6th, Sanjin in 7th, Tobias Azerni in 8th, Dale Nish 9th, Aleski Aloma in 10th place. In 11th, it's Bo Cattell, Richard Aylward, Marlon McMullen holding off a very fast-charging Jason Black as he runs out of fuel across the line for 13th. James McKnight in 14th, John Latham in 15th, Scott Uran in 16th, Jason Black in 17th, 18th is Wayne Burke, 19th Josh Muggleton, 20th Sean Kelly, in 21st Michael Schreier, running at your 22 is Tony Orchard. Well, boys, that definitely had a bit of everything.
Not wrong there, Sandman. Before it all went wrong, that battle with Madison, Josh, and Sean Kelly, that was a mammoth fight. It has to have been one of the best fights we've seen all season. That was beautiful racing there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mate, and the best bit was that it went all race long, didn't it, Corey?
Yeah, that was fantastic. It was a real shame to see it end how it did, but I think it was probably one of the most perfect races I could have come back for because it was just absolutely amazing on the edge of my seat the whole time.
As we wait for drivers to join us in the commentary box, we're just going to check out some more of this recall replay of that unfortunate incident with Josh Muggleton and Sean Kelly. We obviously know there was no intent, but a real game changer and big repercussions in the championship for our championship leader. We see a couple of drivers have joined us now in the commentary box. We'll start with Marlon McMullen, who we're hearing reports may have had a bit of a giggle to himself as he was running out of fuel towards the start-finish line. Is that right, mate?
Yeah, no, it was a little bit of a problem at the end. I mean, I feel bad for Jason, really. I mean, we had an awesome battle all race, and I just tried, to keep in front of him as hard as I could, and he was saving the fuel behind me. He was very lucky he had the draft. So, I mean, as you found out on the weekend, Sandman, it was just a battle of survival when you're really in front of being drafted. But like a bit of a shocking start. I mean, it's no one's fault. I had a look at Scott and my incident. It's not his fault, not my fault. I think he just got a bit of a tap from the outside and just got sent into me. So, no problems about that, and no love lost between all that. Just live on and fight on for another day, and we came back 13th, I think. So, not too bad.
Yeah, I think you started back in 18th place, so 13th place and to run out of fuel. It's not a bad result.
Take how you get them.
Could have been a lot worse, mate, but well done. Great effort. While we got a chance, we'll talk to our race winner, Madison Down. Madison, you there, mate?
Yeah, g'day, Sandman. Yeah, I'm here.
Mate, sensational battle. Of course, it was unfortunate the way it all turned out for your team, mate Josh Muggleton. But the battle between you, Muggleton, and Kelly for the entire race was sensational.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? That was fantastic. So much fun, so close. Barely any contact there until that accident, unfortunately, with Muggo and Kelly. But fantastic race. Lots and lots of lead changes too. It was absolutely fantastic. And obviously, it was pretty unfortunate, pretty disappointing to see those guys go into the fence. I was having a ball, but same time, it was not too bad for me. It pretty much handed me the win, but not the way you want to win the race, unfortunately. But great to have a Tats car up on the top step again, and certainly tightens up the championship, that's for sure.
Both Tats cars have been sensational all season long, and mate, it looks like we're on target for another one too. But like you said, it was just an unfortunate racing incident by the looks of it, and good points day for you. But it's hard to be up and over the moon when your teammate has such a shocker.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I would have much preferred for that battle to go all the way to the flag, and it deserved to. It was a great fight between the three of us, and there was no guarantees tonight of a 1-2, that's for sure. Sean Kelly had a lot of pace on board, and who knows what would have happened in the final laps. But yeah, as I said, disappointing for Muggo and Kelly. They were on for pretty good points and pretty good results. But anyway, we'll move forward to the next round, and hopefully we can have another battle like that. That was fantastic.
Let's have a look. Looks like we've got Michael Fabian joining us in the commentary box as well. No? All right, let's the Lee Ellis. Lee, you've joined us here, mate.
Hello.
Mate, great little battle for you to claim in third place. You definitely had your hands full, that battle between yourself, Fabian, and Hilly. That went pretty much all race long.
Yeah, I know. If I didn't have to fuel save, I'm saying that. If I didn't have to fuel save, it would have been probably a lot different. I couldn't save enough fuel at the time, and yeah, whenever Fabian decided to have a look at me, I couldn't defend, so had to let him go. And then, yeah, a bit of bad driving by me almost cost me and Hilly our races, but yeah, it was good, sort of.
Well, as it all plays out, mate, you've still got a podium finish, mate, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. I feel bad for Muggo and Sean. Like Muggo, it was pretty much almost the exact same incident as me and Hilly. And yeah, Muggo just got the bad end of the stick there. He was looking for good points, so hopefully he can recover next week and go on for it.
So we go through the finishing order. The man who you battled with, Lee, a lot of the night, Matty Hill. Matt, you had unfortunate incident off the start line, was it? Then claw back to finish 4th place.
Yeah, g'day guys. Firstly, well done to Madison, man. Awesome drive. Really, just a class above. And gotta say bad luck to Sean and also to Margot for their incident. But yeah, had a terrible start. I got new pedals, so I'm just trying to come to grips with the clutch. And I thought I had it down pat with the last with the early race. I had a really good start, but yeah, just went backwards in a big way and it cost me because I had some serious pace and I just couldn't do anything with it.
That battle you had yourself in all night, mate, looked like lots of fun, though.
Oh, 3 wide. How crazy is that? That was lunacy. I was driving up the outside going, what am I doing here? And it nearly cost me. But it was good. There was a fair bit of respect between myself, Ellis, and Fabian. And I think we only touched really the once there, which is pretty good for 28 laps of pretty hard-fought battling. So well done to Michael, man. Awesome pace. And also to Leg. Good drive, man.
I'm sorry.
You had a bit of a heart and throat moment with that the exit of the carousel there, Hilly, didn't you? There's one moment looked like you nearly lost it all the way down the straight.
Yeah, it took me a long time to recover, and unfortunately, because it had such a huge slide, it killed my tyres. And then when I broke into the second last corner, I just put another big slide on and thought I was in a drift mode there for a minute. But it took a long time for my tyres to cool down, and once they had gone, they're pretty much gone. So unfortunately, that ended my challenge pretty much.
Have a quick look around the commentary box and see a man who finished in 6th place tonight, Dean O'Brien. Dean, you there, mate?
Yeah, gotcha.
How was your race tonight, mate?
It wasn't too bad coming from 11th, I guess. It's pretty full on at this track with the slipstream going on and everything.
How did you find racing? There wasn't a lot of fuel that had to be saved, but there was obviously a little bit that people had to take into consideration. How did you find that?
Actually, I started to cough about 50 metres from the line. I only just made it across in front of Sanjan in that race, so I was pretty lucky. I was trying to save as much as I could, but also, staying fast and, covering myself.
Oh, you did a great job, mate, and to start back in 11th place to finish in 6th. Just missing out on top 5, mate. Brilliant effort, mate, and no doubt you'll be looking forward to next week.
Yeah, cheers, will do.
Also join us in the commentary box, a man who's got a little bit of news that may have been spoilt for him in the broadcast, Tobias Zerni. Tobias, how you going, mate?
Hey guys, I'm fine. Exhausting race, interesting race.
How did you find it? Plenty of great battles up and down throughout the field.
Oh, it was awesome. Battles from the start till the end. A lot of dramas and dangerous situations. I was able to survive. Yeah, pretty much done now.
And of course, I don't know how much you can tell us about next season, but some pretty exciting news to come your way for next season.
I think you will see it next season.
Well, you're a great steerer, mate, and we look forward to the news. And there's only a couple more weeks to the championship, so all the best, mate, and good luck for next week. And we look forward to hearing about your news, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
A man who finished in 11th place, starting 17th. Bo Cattell. Bo, you there, mate?
Yeah, guys, how are you?
Good, mate. You had yourself a couple of moments there. I think we saw you off on the grass at one stage. Tell us a bit about your race.
Yeah, it was like Tobias's, very hectic. I reckon I was lucky to survive probably the 3 crashes that happened in front of me, and had a little racing incident with Tobias that put the steering out later in the race, and it was just survival from there, so managed to hold on.
How did you go this week? Fuel saving wasn't a big issue, but how did you find that when you were in those battles?
Yeah, it was it's really close. There's a lot of fair guys out there tonight, and I know Sanjan had a really good pass he did on me, and no, there's a lot of respect out there, which is good to see. So fuel saving's definitely easier when you're in a draft.
Now, man who did a hot lap for us earlier didn't have the best of nights. Scott, your and Scotty, mate, started in 9th and finished in 16th, mate.
God, it was absolutely shocking. Got to give a yell out to Muggo, who helped me out in qualifying, got me a decent top 10 starting spot, but yeah, I didn't pay him back very well. I jumped the start and it just went downhill from there.
Mate, considering the jump start to still come home there, you still managed to pick up a couple of places. It's heart and mouth stuff. It's terrible when you get that jump start because you know you've got to take that tour through pit lane, and pretty much it's night over then, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I took tyres and fuel at my pit stop, so I didn't have to worry about saving fuel after that. So I thought with a bit of attrition and maybe some people running out of fuel, I'd get a few more spots. But no, not with this field. It's a quality field, this, so no chance. On to next week.
Now, speaking of next week, just a reminder too, we unfortunately won't be broadcasting because the team's heading to Bathurst. But mate, Oran Park, it's an exciting racetrack. We all love it. It's got that Aussie bit of flavour. How are you going to find it next week?
We'll have to find out. But yeah, a twisty track. So in history as me relatively good with my tyres. So hopefully I'll do a lot better than this.
All the best for next week, mate. And let's see who else we got in here. Wayne Burke. Wayne unfortunately got caught up, I believe, in that incident with Muggleton and Kelly. You there, mate?
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, a bit unlucky.
Mate, you're not wrong. Yeah, you would have died when you come around the corner and saw, I think it was Kelly rejoining the racetrack. He had absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, I know. And then Dean sort of went left and I went right and I chose wrong, basically.
Your pace over like last night and tonight was sensational. You had yourself in some really great battles. It's unfortunate the night sort of went as pear-shaped as it did.
Yeah, like our pace wasn't bad, especially considering me and Dean didn't see the track or anything until today because we were both up at Lithgow racing go-karts. So it's a bit hard when you only have a little bit of testing today and when real life gets in the way. But yeah, we were a bit surprised by how much pace we had over everyone else. And like we started 11th, 13th, and we were 5th and 6th there for a while.
A great battle, mate, and yeah, commiserations. It's unfortunate the way it all turned out, but bring on Oran Park, eh?
Yeah, that's it. A big long one there.
All right, just have a look through the commentary box. Have I missed anyone, Mr. Director, or anyone else? Fabs, you're having a bit of trouble with your mic. I don't know if you got that sorted.
I think it's sorted.
Beautiful, mate. Yes. Now let's see. What's your position tonight? How did you go for P2, mate? That's a pretty good result.
Yeah, awesome. Only because Muggo and Sean sort of crashed out, but I guess you've got to be up there to finish in those positions.
That's it, mate. You got to capitalise on moments like that. But sensational racing, but watching between you, Alice, and Hilly.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, pretty nerve-wracking. You pass them 1 minute and then they're, trying to pass you the next. So it's hard work.
And what about next week, mate? A lot of people's favourite racetrack, Oran Park. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I think I've been going fairly good there. I've been pretty confident there the last couple of seasons, but just haven't really converted any into good finishes. But maybe this time.
All the best, mate. We look forward to, well, we won't get a chance to talk to you next week, but all the best for the rest of the season, mate. Looks like maybe Sean Kelly's joined us in the commentary box. Sean, you there, mate?
Hey, guys.
Mate, unbelievable racing up front, and commiserations. It was just an unfortunate incident, looked like, between you and Muggo.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a lot of fun racing those guys. Had to keep looking down the F3 to check who was in front of me because they swapped positions quite a few times. And yeah, unfortunate incident. I'll have to go back and review it. But yeah, real sorry to Wayne to get caught up. I was careful coming back on track and went to keep to the left. Saw them come in, so I went to the right. But yeah, they just come on so fast, and I think maybe Wayne was a bit blinded by his teammates. So yeah, real sorry there because he's been great round.
Well, apart from all that, mate, the racing was first class up there between you three guys. And, mate, you must be over the moon. Your pace over the last few weeks has been sensational.
Oh, last few weeks been a bit off the ball for a month with other commitments and stuff. But yeah, no, the car was super fast. So yeah, thanks to LMR guys, had really, really good pace, and yeah, just biding my time and battling those guys, and started running out of laps, and yeah, oh well.
Well, bad luck, mate.
Yeah, can't wait for next season with the Enduro. That'll be fun.
And the racing was first class, mate. You got to take your hat off, mate, because that was really good. That battle between you, Muggleton, and Down was first class, mate. Really enjoyable to watch. And regardless of the result, I think you will enjoy sort of sitting back and watching the racing that you guys did. It was really good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot to learn of those guys. I've been doing it for quite a while, and I've been doing it long enough to know what not to do and what to do. And yeah, always learn a lot traveling behind them. So it's just nice to be sort of on the same bit of track. Yeah, as them. So yeah, good fun. Thanks, guys.
And a big thanks to all you guys who stopped by the commentary box. We appreciate your time, guys, and everyone who helped out for tonight's broadcast. Corey, good to have you back in the commentary box, mate.
Yeah, it's been fun. Definitely, like I said, hopefully within the not too distant future, I'll have more regular working patterns and I'll actually be able to either get back out on track or be back in the commentary box more often.
And of course to you, Leo, mate. Couldn't have done it without you. Good job, mate.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Corey. This is why we do it. Hey, that's exactly what we like seeing tonight. With the exception of that wreck, it was top class stuff all round, guys. Well done.
And of course, man, we never want to forget, thanks to Astro Gaming Headsets, our very own Reece Gardner, the man in the pits. Reasonably quiet night, but still some really good juicy goss through the night.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a really good race, both on and off the track. Thanks, guys, and have fun in Bathurst. I'll be there in spirit.
Can't wait for that. And of course, big thanks to Seb behind the scenes. And just as Reece touched on, we will be at Bathurst next week. So this will be our last broadcast for a fortnight. So the entire V8's Online team are going to head to Mount Panorama, and we're going to have an absolute ball up there. So we'll have a week off. And don't forget, if you do see us around Bathurst, pop in, say hello, and make sure you let us know that you tune in or that you're an iRacer. It's always good to catch up with fans of our sport. We're going to wrap things up. You've been watching V8's Online's live and exclusive coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by our good friends at V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and of course the V8's Online Superstore, which is coming soon. Your winner for round 10 from Watkins Glen, Madison Down.